for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden. Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food.
All right, good evening to all of you, my friends and well wishers and family members, those of you who are always looking at our program. We're sorry for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. However, we are here live. And don't forget, you can make your calls today. We are hoping to take your calls. Um, I have with me Dr. Richard, who is here, not a stranger to us. And this will be our last program, I think, for the year. I think so. So tune in, call your friends, call your buddies, call everyone who you need to call, let them know that we're on. You can make your calls today. We take a few calls if possible. And today we want to talk with you about the holiday season, uh, your conditions, your food, your choices that you make, your diseases, and we want to remind you that Christmas comes and goes. So you need to live your life in a way in which you can see it when it comes and it goes. If you don't do the right things, then you may miss it when it comes. All right. So today we want to talk about some things to do with your nutrition, your the restrictions that you may have, the conditions that you have, and how you should consume the foods that are in line with your condition so that you would not create further problems. There are many persons who suffer with H. pylori bacteria, Helicobacter pylori, Helicobacter pylori bacteria, and there's some things that you should not consume. But it's Christmas, which is Christmas,
Yeah.
and with Christmas comes pepper pot and ginger beer and black cake, garlic pork,
Push back
baked
on that
chicken,
one.
macaroni and cheese,
Hmm.
lots of fat, lots of oily foods, and then you wonder why your stomach burns after you eat.
Mm.
So we want to caution today persons who suffer with high blood pressure, diabetes, H. pylori bacteria, parasites, cancer, all the conditions that you may encounter, and we want to give you some caution. So, Dr. Richard, good afternoon. Welcome to our program.
Thank you for the invite. Good afternoon, good evening. Well, it's almost evening here. Good afternoon to everyone. And yeah, I think we did this one last year about the same time, or maybe close to.
Yeah, we did.
Uh, it's this is a rough time of the year because the festivities and the festive environment and air. Uh, it's it's very tempting. you know,
It's
all the
not
things you
easy.
grew up with, you knew now what you didn't know then that they were not very healthy, uh, but you see them all before you. It remind me when you said the time of the year. I remember in our household, uh,
Hmm.
the ham would be hanging. I don't know if it's like that anymore in most households in Guyana. The ham
The
was there
ham,
a long time. You're looking up at it and says, "Can't wait to get to you."
the ham used to be the ham used to be hanging, and it used to be coated with something that you gotta peel it
Yeah,
off.
like the wax that the sealing the all the
The flavor.
seasonings and the flavorings and everything else. And you can smell the fruits. So you used to participate in grinding up the fruits way in advance, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you can't deny it. It's a very festive and happy moment, you know. It's a happy moment and a happy time of the year, I think, for everybody, you know. And
For,
those who are
for,
used.
we can say for most people, because I've encountered some people who would have said that, nah, we don't do nothing for Christmas. It's just another day. You know, for most people, it's a for most Christians, I should say,
Uh-huh.
it's a season where some type of celebration occurs.
Mm-hmm.
And as children, you look forward to the time because you get the gifts that are
Yeah.
placed on the Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
The Santa Claus is coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
All the Christmas carols are playing.
Yeah.
You're smelling the black cake baking in the air. You
That's
know, double pot cooking everywhere you go.
that's right. And
School
so
closing.
yes. So it's a rough one for me to believe that. I know some people really don't, they because of religious reasons, but however, every sense is every one of your senses uh, was insulted with
Yeah.
with the festivity of the moment. You go outside, you can smell, the sense of smell. You can smell all the cakes, and then everything was baking. You know, your hearing, the sense of hearing is, was evident. You hear the Christmas music. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep, you gotta clean the house. You gotta wipe
yeah,
the walls.
yeah,
You gotta sun the chairs, wipe them out, to put them in the sun.
yeah, yeah. It's a tradition, and even though you may not celebrate it, however, certain things just have you doing things there because the neighbor, the whole environment is different.
Yeah.
So you may not celebrate, but however, you may clean your house. You put certain things out that you normally don't put throughout the year. And
I
I've got
remember.
homes like that where people that weren't celebrating Christmas. However, it was quite evident that the moment was even in their households, people send them Christmas cards, and they're not regular cards. I mean,
Right,
they're
right. They were
decorated.
nicely decorated,
Yeah.
raised letters,
Yeah.
gold color, or whatever.
So even if you didn't want to celebrate, I mean, you were getting things in the mail, and so it's a very difficult time for those who may not want to celebrate, even for those who are depressed because missing family members and things like that. A lot of things happen, but you cannot just erase the fact that it's a moment, that is different than the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's a period that stands out. It's not just a regular holiday. It's not
Right.
just a regular
Right.
season.
No.
The music that is played, it's only played one time of the year, and that is the Christmas time. The
Yeah.
carols and the different Christmas melodies and so on.
Right.
Those are only played one time
Yeah. You don't
during
play it.
this Christmas period,
Right. And
and
it's true. So it's a period that we have to acknowledge, even though many of us, as we got older, realized that the whole purpose of it is not, really truly what it say it is. But
yeah,
Christ really wasn't born in that day. For the reason for the celebration is not, you know, it's not uh, it's not real in the sense when you look into it. However, it's a tradition that was followed,
yeah.
and many of us, if we are honest, we look forward to that.
I think I look as even though I've gotten a lot older since we playing cowboy and
Yeah,
Apache, cowboy and Apache, with
cowboy,
you know our guns and sockets and cap guns and all of things.
That's
You
right.
know, even though you've grown past those things, you still look forward to the holiday season
Yeah. Yeah.
because families come together.
Right.
You know, you celebrate at the table like you don't celebrate during the normal year.
Right.
You have food on the table that is not there. That is you know
Very
it's
true.
part of the season,
Very true.
and you can't we can't fool ourselves. It is something we grew up with, and we probably die with the tradition
Yeah. 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 Even if,
because it's special. It's a
yeah,
special
it's
time.
special. It's special.
Yeah.
And you know, you know, it's different. So you know, we made that point, and even if you don't want to celebrate it, however, it is a tradition that you were brought up with, and
It's
everybody
hard
else
to forget it. Hard to forget.
can't forget it. You know, you can't forget it. Okay.
No.
So with that being said, we have to acknowledge that, you know, it is a moment, you know, in time that we should be happy. I mean, I used to remember just sitting down, even if you're not so you used to hear. I don't know if they do it now on the radio. People calling from all over the world.
That happens on Christmas Day
Yeah, I mean, I used to sit
or
down.
Boxing Day.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, this
Yeah.
is the time without cell phone, right, and all these things. We
Right.
we used to wait to hear if anybody calling in to us.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's there were no cell phones.
No,
They hardly had telephones. You know.
yeah,
So
no.
there was the radio. It was the
Yeah, you
radio.
just look around the radio, you're listening to.
Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden. Wi-Fi and a private bathroom. Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden. Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden. Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages.
Look like it froze again.
No, you're good.
But it looked like it's frozen, but we're gonna hope that it's not. We're having some technical difficulties in the studio. I don't know what. Maybe the internet is very busy everywhere,
Yeah.
and it's that time of the year. Everybody is doing something on the net, you know. So, but as we were saying, hopefully
Mhm.
it's showing.
And did they record all of that we said or no?
I think they did. They did. They'll have
Yeah,
to piece it in
I got you.
at some point. But
Yeah.
it's a time where people got together and will get together. Families will visit. They will bring things in for gifts. Lots of gifts will be shared.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of Christmas trees are going to be up.
Right.
Like the lights, the lights that blink and reflect all those colors that we don't see all year.
Mm-hmm.
And in persons' houses, we will see them now. And
True.
I can probably guarantee you that many homes can see right through the window because they took the curtains down to clean the walls and to prepare for the season. Christmas Eve night, they're going to be up all night putting up those curtains and remember that time when you don't want to sleep because Santa Claus will come home and
Yeah,
you don't want to miss when he brings your toy.
that's right. I mean, all of those exciting times. You know, most households Christmas Eve night, people were up. You know,
All
late,
night sometimes,
late,
all night.
late. I don't know. As I get older, I'm like, wow, look at this. You go through all of this stuff, you know, just
Just
for
for one, just for a few
day,
hours.
one
Just
day.
for a
And,
few hours.
you know, it was a rough one because I didn't know I get to realize who Santa Claus was. And Santa Claus would up all night. Used to be late in bed during Christmas. uh, you
Oh.
gotta, uh,
But even though that was the case, we enjoyed the period and
yeah, boy.
we look forward to it. It helped us to meet our friends that we didn't see a lot too, because
Hmm.
those people who were busy all year, those kids who were busy all year, the children would
Hmm.
get together, we'd play games, and so
That's right. That's true.
those were really good times.
They were. They were. And you
Really
know,
good times.
there were good times. And even though we didn't have, I mean, we had more than others, but we were not wealthy, you know, but we were well off like many others.
Yeah, yeah,
The little things that we had, we didn't take for granted, you know. Uh,
yeah.
that to put whatever you had, nuts and candy, different candies you never saw before during the year. Sometimes you had, I mean, everything in the little package. Everybody had their own, you know,
Yep.
own names and everything. And those nuts, boy. By the time you get them, give everybody's hammer.
The walnuts, the almond nuts and walnuts.
Hazelnuts and walnuts, and if you get the Brazilian nut, I mean, that was a big nut, you know. But you know,
Yeah,
and then you
but
get the candy.
um, what used to happen those days too? We never used to lose a lot of people. Many persons were not dying those days.
Yeah,
They were dying, but not like now.
yeah,
Now we have so many diseases, and people are just dying left, right, and center. And we never really were cautioned about things we eat and all of that back then,
no, no.
because people used to walk a lot and ride a lot.
Hmm.
And they exercised in a way that would burn the calories and got rid of the fats.
That's right.
But today, uh, Today, a lot of that is not happening. People are driving to go places. They're hardly walking anymore.
That's true. That's true.
We're eating all sorts of things that we never used to eat before.
The Western diet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. In this era, more cows would be slaughtered than any other period.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. But people are making pepper pot
Yeah.
and tripe and sauce and and garlic pork. The pigs will be dying too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So what has happened over the time because of the fact that we changed how we do what we do,
Mm-hmm.
more people are becoming sick because of the inactivity.
Yeah.
And now we have high blood pressure, we have diabetes, we have lots of cancer, we have lots of H. pylori bacteria problems.
Mm-hmm.
I am wondering back then if there really was that, maybe there was, but not much H. pylori.
Um, to be honest, I really don't believe that there were that many problems with dying from these diseases. I mean, like you said, people's lifestyle was different. They weren't sedentary. Most people are sitting down now. To the street, they're driving. If it's a bike, either bike or a walk or whatever, don't have anymore. Um, I believe, like for example, a lot of diseases, H. pylori, and the cancers that we're seeing right, they were not as prevalent. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in places that we grew up in the country in South America and all other places, if you go back and look at all the studies, people were living longer and healthier, and these diseases were not in their society. They were not, evident, but as we get more westernized, Americanized, the types of diet, our diet change. We used to eat a whole lot more greens. We used to have a garden and things like that, eat more healthier. But now that we change our lifestyle, more sedentary, we're not active, we acquired disease of Western societies, and fast food and stuff, was not when Guyanese used to eat their lunch. They never the lunch used to come from home.
Exactly.
It was
Exactly.
a meal, home cooked meal. But now you go to what, Wendy's, Burger King, and all these different fast foods using meat that you don't even know. You don't have a history of the animal that you're eating. You know, you don't have a history of anything. So whatever you are consuming, and in the case of meats, whatever that animal was infected with, and every animal, including human beings, we have viruses, bacteria, fungi, we have cancer, oncoviruses. So is every living creature.
Hmm.
So whatever disease was in that animal that was slaughtered, you eating it, you're consuming it, and it becomes part of you. And that has a lot to do, like I said, going back so dietary habits have changed.
And the other thing that used to happen back then is that we used to have more cleansing done, more detoxifying. We didn't understand why, but after those hefty festivities, before we go back to school, we used to be cleansed, right?
Yeah,
Our parents used to cleanse our body system to remove whatever it is that was in excess or whatever we accumulated that we should not have.
that's right.
But we didn't understand why. So
No,
those are scenarios that occurred back then, which propelled us and built good structural foundation in our bodies.
hmm hmm
Versus today, in today's world, those things don't happen hardly.
That's true. Sundays in most households in Guyana was cascara, salt,
Castor oil,
cascara,
castor.
or whatever. You had laxative to detox your system.
Yeah, yep,
You know,
yep.
and then I forgot what they're called. I think I know that thing was the silver thing with the tube and all that. I know it's an enema, but I forgot what they call that thing. Remember that? It's a white thing that
It's it was an enema. They call it an enema.
enema, but it had a name. When I heard the name, I used to run.
Yeah, there was a name for it indeed. There was a name for it. Yeah, yeah.
But all those things, I mean, those were for parasites and things like that. To get rid of, a lot of parasites. Well, yeah, those old methods. I mean, old way of doing things. How our parents and their grandparents and the forefathers, it was passed down. Now I don't think anybody does that anymore.
Hardly, hardly. So, so this is probably one factor that contributes to what is really wrong in our society today. So many sick people,
Yeah,
so many sick people, so many diseases because we're eating more foods from the western side. We're not growing our foods hardly anymore.
right.
We used to have a garden. We used to eat out of the garden.
Hmm.
When we go to the market, it was basically to buy things like, I guess we used to grow cassava. We used to grow plantains.
Yeah,
We grew. I remember by Washpan, we used to pick our plantain and bananas there.
that's right.
We used to pick the cassava from there.
Hmm.
The vegetables, we grew them in the garden. I remember us having to grow our own kalaloo and pak
That's
choy
right.
and belange and all of that.
That's right.
So we fed ourselves from the garden.
Hmm.
And even our chicken, we had a little chicken, our
That's
own
right.
little chicken farm
Hmm.
that we grew our own chicken when we
Yeah,
raised
yeah,
chicken.
corn and whatever food you had, and it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they were.
Today, in today's world, we are buying chicken that is fed chemicals.
Hmm.
We are buying vegetables that are grown with chemicals. We are eating foods that are they use chemicals to ripen them and to prepare them for the marketplace. So all of these new things that have occurred over the years are contributing to the disease factor that we face today. The
That's right.
high level of cancer, the high
Hmm.
level of H. pylori, the high level of diarrhea and gastrointestinal problems.
Hmm.
You know, the high level of chemical poisoning because we see so much in our work.
Hmm.
The chemicals that people have just sitting near their bodies.
Yeah, a lot of hormones and a whole lot of stuff. They're placing in these foods. Especially meats. The chicken and the cows and all that. A lot of hormones. You know, there's such a demand for turnaround. You get an animal or you get a chicken or you get a cow. You want to build them up real quickly so you can put them to the market. And make money. So by doing all that, you actually eat and and at times consuming, drinking, a whole lot of chemicals, and that contributes to illness, a lot of illness and
Oh
sickness.
yeah,
Seeing,
yeah.
you know, this thing, it's incredible to me. We have really. I was looking at one doctor. He's talking about disease situations. A lot of times the remedy for most disease is basically the same thing. It's your
Yeah,
diet, it's your food,
yeah.
and very simple means of getting. Uh, we do, you know, it's obvious we have microorganisms present that can cause disease too. They have antibiotics, but the thing is, they're using antibiotics in everything now. That
Mhm.
when you take the antibiotics, it doesn't work. Because you already got it's resistant to whatever microorganisms you have to treat. Because the soaps that you use to wash your hands, a lot of them have antibiotics in it.
Oh yes.
You know, a lot of things are. So when you start using antibiotics, it doesn't work anymore because the microorganisms are resistant to it. You know. and it's a big problem too.
So,
You know.
so what do you suggest? Where do we start with the? We only have like less than half an hour now.
Oh wow, time went quick.
Already. We're talking about persons with diabetes. Where do we begin the, with the advice for them? Because the pear pot is going to be sweet, it's full of fat.
Well, put sugar in it, right?
They put sugar, the
Oh,
cashew has
there you go.
sugar.
Boom. They shouldn't touch it. It's like that'll be like death in the pot for somebody with diabetes. That's
But
gonna drive.
you know they're going to eat. I mean,
It's gonna drive the sugar up. Just drinking a little bit of that that gravy. It's gonna drive the sugar level up high. You know, and then that's a problem. And that's one of the reasons people here where people end up in the hospital after all those festivities. You know, if you have diabetes, you gotta really be careful because like this is a season where a lot of sugar, everything is sweet, a lot of sweet. So the sugar in the pepper pot,
yep.
I don't advise that you should touch it. To be honest with you,
There is sugar in the cashew already,
yeah,
and then there's going to be sugar in the pepper pot. There's going to be fat in the pepper pot. Lots of fat.
don't you can't touch it. I'm serious because you know it's refined sugar, and you're having a problem with production of insulin. You might have some insulin. A lot of people have insulin resistance. The insulin is there, but it's not doing anything to help with the sugar. So, I would not, if you're going to indulge, and I don't even think you should, but if you are, you got to be very, very careful.
What kind of advice can we give them because they're going to eat it? They're going to eat. What I could say is that first of all, you need to remember that they have a condition. If it's hypertension or diabetes, remember that there's a condition.
Hmm.
Secondly, remove as much fat as possible out of the pepper pot. As you say, the pepper pot sleeps overnight. When you cook the pepper pot and it sleep overnight, in the morning when you wake up with all that fat on top of the pepper pot, don't warm it up. Take it out. Take out the fat because fat is going to contribute to your diabetes. It's going to contribute to your arteriosclerosis. It's going to contribute to your heart problems, your hypertension. Take out the fat. And then when you make it pepper pot, try not to use more sugar because the cashew already has sugar. It's already sweet. So you make enough pepper pot to accommodate the sweet that's already there, and you can actually control the sweet taste of the pepper pot. And by the way, the person will say, you know what? I'll take the pepper pot, and before I add more sugar or more of anything, I'll take out mine. Right? Well, when you do that, you're creating a problem for those who are going to eat it anyway. They're going to have the problem with the fat. They're going to have the problem with the sugar. And before you know it, they're going to have problems with diabetes, hypertension, and heart conditions.
Yeah, it's a rough choice. Uh, because like you said, the casrip they put a lot of sugar in it, right?
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
They do. And then it's hard ever eaten without bread. And in the bread, there is fat and then there's sugar also.
Mm.
You don't want to spoil anybody's Christmas, but these are the factors that contribute to the hospitals being full after the holidays.
they go, they always get full after the holiday because people who there are a lot of people who at this present time who are not feeling well, but they in their mind they're saying, well, let me let me stay home and at least enjoy Christmas at home.
Right.
You know, so they're holding on, and until after the season. As a matter of fact, Christmas night, the night of Christmas, some of them probably they can't hold on too long. The emergency rooms usually are full.
The night of Christmas.
Night of Christmas and the night of New Year's. Those are, you know. Sometimes it depends on where you're living. But if you're in a city, yes, it happens. If you're in a country someplace, uh, it may not be because sometimes a lot of people go visiting families in the cities or wherever.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
but yeah, it's I don't know. I'm very concerned because a lot of times you give advice and sometimes people eat things that you say you should eat, and then they get even more situation. But yeah, it's rough. It's not easy. It's not easy. I would say if you have um, a good discipline about knowing that you have a situation, uh, just stay to the course, because like this moment that we're this period is just 1 or 2 days. It's just a week. You don't want to set yourself back, especially if you are on a path and you're going, getting your health together. You know, 1 or 2 days may put you back in the situation. Yeah, eat things. You can
Eat healthy. Eat
eat healthy.
moderately. Eat.
Eat healthy. I mean,
Eat with your focus on your foods being like medicines to you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I would say. I would say that, and realize that it's your health. You know, it's more important after everything is over. You're still stuck with you. you know, So eat healthy. And eat foods that, if you can, that have some medical benefits to it. Eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and things like that. Take advantage. And I'm not saying that we give a list of foods that people's body consider they should keep away from. You know,
Hmm.
I'm not advocating that you get off of that, but some people can't eat fruits and things like that because the sugar is so bad. Even eating fructose is going to carry them over. You know, but if you happen to cheat, I mean, just detox. Right? You can
Yeah.
detox.
If you cheat, cleanse your system.
Cleanse
Just
the system.
just make sure that you take something to remove the unwanted matter.
Yeah, yeah.
The extra fats. The look. Listen. This is what I'm going to suggest that people do who are hypertensive and diabetic and so on. It's not going to rain every day. So when you eat and you rest, get up, go and walk.
Hmm.
Get your friends and you go walk and you talk as you walk. Look back if you want and share the old times with each other, but walk. Get some exercise.
Yeah.
Get the metabolism increased so you can at least get stuff moving.
Hmm.
Get your body to burn some things that you would have eaten that may hurt you if you don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get up and go walking in the neighborhood and visit your friends and so don't drive if it's not too far.
Yeah.
Walk and go and walk and come back and try to exercise that food down that you would have eaten and try to remove or burn some calories from food that you would have eaten that
Hmm.
or you would of beverages that you would have had that you don't have normally that your body is not accustomed to because some of the food that is going to be eaten over the holiday season, the body is not accustomed eating it all year.
Yeah. True. That's true. That's
You
true.
know, and we've seen so many people with H. pylori bacteria. Bacteria. If something else is going to happen, people are going to have a lot of gastroenteritis, a
Yeah.
lot of E. coli bacteria because you're eating foods that may be contaminated and you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people start vomiting and then they get diarrhea and all sorts of things, and they think that maybe it's the pepper pot that I'm not accustomed to, but
Mm.
It could very well be some food that you should not have had that's bad. Got some bacteria.
Yeah. Yeah, so try to keep your head on, keep your head on, and then a lot of times, like the important thing about it, and sometimes you can't avoid it, eating out. You go visit somebody, and the first thing, what do they do? They offer you something to eat, right?
Yep. Oh, come have a piece of cake or some pepper
Okay,
pot and
yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you have an ailment, I would suggest that you know one important thing is to know how your food was prepared, because you don't know what people put in the foods they cook. There may be things in there that you can't eat. You and know how it's prepared. Know who's preparing it, and the best the best place to eat is at home, because you have control over what you're using. You know, I had a situation where I went out to eat one time, and I don't know if people know about collard greens or anything like that.
collard greens. Yep.
Greens are
Looks like pak
greens.
choy.
Yeah, nice. But it's a little collard greens are a little thicker than pop choy, right?
Sticker, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't know how to cook it right, it tastes like eating grass. Yeah. But I went out. I was out, and you know, didn't know any better. I ate the thing, man. It was good. I'm not. It was really good. This collard greens was good. That even so, it was so good. I took a second serving. I think most
You
people.
normally, you normally cook it with pork.
Well, they didn't cook pork. These are people. They're Christians. They don't eat pork. However, as you eat the thing, you inquire, how will you make this thing? And when I heard the account of how it was made,
It make you want to puke.
I found out that they take the collard green and it goes through a process and they put it in the washing machine. You know?
Really?
Yeah. Now they wash dirty clothes all year.
I never knew that one.
I'm like, I already had one and I was almost finished with the half and I stopped.
I, I never heard that one before. I never knew that they put collard greens in the washing machine.
So I know I was gonna get sick. All that stuff, all the clothes, the dirty clothes. You eating every microorganism that ever entered in there, and a washing machine is not the cleanest place. You know,
No, no.
so you gotta have control over. You know,
Gotta know the source of your food
yeah,
preparation.
yeah,
Yeah. And
very,
that brings me to another situation. We're seeing here a lot of viruses like adenovirus and reovirus. A lot of fecal oral transmitted viruses.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
It appears as though people are not really sanitizing their hands properly, or their the food, whatever it is, wherever it's grown or whatever is on it, it's not being cleaned properly, and
yeah,
and people are getting a lot of adenoviruses, stool-to-mouth viruses.
right, and then it's hand to mouth, and a lot of times, people, for example, they're sick and they blow their nose with their fingers.
Yeah,
I've seen
and they
that
wipe it on their clothes.
wipe it on the clothes, and then you
I
see,
see that. I see people do that, and whatever it is that they're doing there, I try to back up. I back up.
yeah, and the same hand that they use to blow the nose to shake your hand.
Yeah, that's
So
why I don't shake hands anymore.
it's passed on. So it's just education, and people have to practice, good health practices. You cannot blow your nose with your hand and then go and shake hands with people.
But you shouldn't even blow your nose with your hand. Get a tissue
Oh,
towel or a
I don't
kerchief or
know
something.
where people get that from, but they do it. You
I
know,
don't know.
they do it, and it's not a healthy practice. It's
It's
very very
sickening.
bad. And then they don't have the cognizance to know that, hey, I just did this. I just have my body fluids on my hand, and then you go and you touch somebody or you play with the food or whatever, you know. And so that's why that adenovirus is spreading, and it's usually in children a lot.
Yep.
And if it's in an adult, then most adults that get it,
Would get it from a child.
yeah,
Or if they're not washing their hands properly after they defecate.
yeah, that's another thing. And so a lot of kids with adenovirus, if you have a child that has nosebleeds a lot in the morning or whatever, that's adenovirus. Or another one called Kingella Kingae.
Kingela Kinga, yeah.
A lot of daycare they have that problem.
Yeah.
And usually people who works at daycare, like elderly, not the older person, young kids or whoever, they carry these viruses. Most kids are sick, all the time.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that. I mean, it's really something. It's really, I think first of all, even over the season, people need to teach each other proper hygiene,
Yeah, yeah.
not only on yourself but in food preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you cut all the fat out of the meat as much as possible. Don't cook with the fats because you have to think that, like I said, the food should be like medicine to you. Even though you're going to cheat and eat some flesh or whatever,
Yeah,
make sure you cut away all the bad parts, all the fatty parts, and so as much as you can,
yeah,
because it's going to hurt you. It's going to clog your arteries. It's going to give you bad circulation. It's going to increase your blood sugar levels. Most people are of the opinion that only sugar gives them diabetes.
no, no, no,
You know, but a
no.
lot of it has to do with the fats.
Yeah, and viruses can give you diabetes. They've done studies, like I think I've mentioned it before, with coronavirus. Coronavirus, you could have coronavirus. However, the virus is still in the system, as we see, right?
Oh yeah.
This virus, one of the things that it's doing to people who are having situation, people who are overweight and things like that, is that virus is going and attack the pancreas.
Hmm.
Once you get a viral attack of the pancreas, then the insulin is not being produced as it should, and you suffer from diabetes. And it's very sudden. It
Yeah.
happens. It happens very sudden.
We see it every day.
Yeah. So people have to be cautious with that. And then the other reason why the fat in any animal, and I'm not advocating you eating meat or anything like that, but I just want you to know that fat is in an animal, even in us, in our human beings, the fat retains all of the impurities. Okay, all of the
That
impurities. So when you eat the fat, you are eating whatever that animal, whatever impure purity was in that animal. You put it in your system.
the other part that does that is the liver.
Yeah, and the liver, exactly, the liver. And remember how liver is so nice? You can put chicken liver and cow liver and
You cut up that liver and you stew it up nice and you eat it.
yeah, make a nice stew out of it. But what you really eating is like you eating the filter. It's like taking your car filter with all that.
It's a lot of blood and a lot of fat and a lot of diseases in there.
Yeah, it's a filter, and that filter needs to be cleaned. That's why when people come, we have to give them a liver detox, get rid of all those impurities in it, and then you're making food of something that is not clean.
You're making food of a
Yeah,
toxic organism.
yeah, a toxic organ, and and it's tasting good, but you are putting those toxins in your system.
Everything the animal has.
Yeah, went through there,
Yeah.
and most of it stuff. So it it is. I think it's education. People need to know what.
They must know that we're not trying to scare them, but we're
No,
trying to advise them. We're trying to educate them. We're trying to put you on guard so that you can be aware of what may be contributing to your problems.
yeah, yeah,
It's not that we're trying to scare you out of anything or convert you from one type of human to another. But you need to be educated so that you would make smart choices.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's still your choice, regardless. I mean, information is powerful, you know, and you have within that your sphere information that you have to make a choice to choose to live. Some people may say, well, it's all right. I only live once.
But what about the alcohol? Because we only have a few more minutes, doctor. I can't believe it. I don't know if they're going to give us some more time, but we only got 5 minutes more.
Oh, okay.
But that the over the season, a lot of alcohol is consumed. More people consume alcohol this time than any other time.
Hmm.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, alcohol, people think that it's a stimulant, but it's really a depressant. You know, um, you consume alcohol, yeah, you get a little buzz, but then eventually it's going to drop you down, and all that alcohol turns into sugar.
Oh yeah,
All of it turns into sugar, and it's not
yeah,
it's not healthy for you. I mean, you're actually putting a toxin in yourself. It's very toxic. It's very toxic, and that it's really an acid. So you're making your whole system acidic and more and contributing to creating a disease state in your body. Yeah,
yeah. It also messes with your brain.
yeah. Your neurological system. I mean, you're short. Like you're short. What do you call it? You're shortening out your system. You know, but regardless, people still do it. You know.
Yeah, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna say, well, you know what? Something gotta kill me.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a holiday season. I gotta enjoy myself.
Hmm.
And but then you need to consider the fact that when you finish enjoying yourself, look at the consequences. Look at the side effects. Look at the after effects. Look at what it does to you.
Hmm.
And then you have to spend money to get better if you have the money to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all we're trying to do is to provide information to you so that you could make smart decisions, make smart choices instead of consuming foods that are going to hurt you. There are lots of foods that you can prepare differently that are festive foods
Hmm.
that you can eat that are healthy and they will be nutritious.
Hmm.
Even if you take a little bit of the black cake or a little bit of the pepper pot and so on, if you eat the healthier foods that will help you to detoxify your system, that can provide you with nutrients that can help to remove some of the matter that you would have accumulated, it helps. Eat more fruits and vegetables, eat more stir-fried vegetables, eat more foods that are wholesome.
Hmm.
When you make the cake, don't pour so much liquor on the cake. It just makes the cake toxic.
Yeah. I mean, people. It's the excessive. The excess. People go all the way and do things in an excessive amount. If you moderate, you may get by.
Right. Do things with moderation.
Yeah.
That is probably what we need to leave them with.
Yeah.
Whatever you do it in moderation. That way, you're always conscious of what you're doing. Your head is always intact. You don't get diarrhea because you haven't overeaten.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't increase your blood sugar too high because you didn't consume too much of the things that are wrong for you. And then you're gonna go exercise, which will help. Just do
Yeah.
some walking. Don't just do some simple walking. Just go take some brisk walks.
Sweat it out, man. Sweat it out. And I'm not advocating them doing anything to harm themselves. But however, and you're right, it's a fail safe system. If you happen to be indulgent, just indulge moderately. You know, indulge moderately. Um, yeah, people who they go because to eat seafood in a seafood buffet.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
and they go crazy because everything is there. It's all one price. Eat
yeah.
whatever you
All
want.
the shrimp, all the lobster, all the crabs.
Yep. And then they come home, and then eventually they start throwing up. Okay. And eventually, you know, they go and they don't feel right after that point in time. They go and they check, and they're told that, you know, you have cancer.
Yeah,
Before then, nothing was buzzing in that direction. But then So it's a real story I'm telling about. You
Yeah.
know, so you
The other
don't
thing,
know what's going on in your system when you go excessively. You're actually activating things that your body may have been trying to fight off.
yeah.
You know, and
Well,
so
the other thing that I want to say before we go, we only have a couple of minutes more. It's already 7 o'clock. People need to consider enhancing their immune system at all times,
yeah, yeah,
because the only thing you have to fight for you is your immune system.
yeah, yeah.
If you don't have a good immune system, chances are you're wide open for all sorts of problems.
All sorts of problems, all sorts of things. It's like opening your house, your door, uh, all night, all night, all hours of the night.
Yeah.
You're open for business. That's basically what
Anything can walk in.
anything can walk in and walk.
Any mosquito, any cockroach, and
Yeah,
fly.
you know. So it's and it's true. And people gotta realize you can use all the vitamin C you want to. It's not bad, but you have to have a complete vitamins and minerals. All
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not one thing is not going to help. You got to have it complete. And they need to know that you got A vitamin B, you got C, you got D, you got E. They have different complexes.
You
You have,
need multivitamin and multiminerals.
yeah, yeah. Get the whole package deal.
You
And
need that.
keep you immune to boost your system.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's past time, but I want to wish all of our patrons and patients and friends and well wishers a very merry holiday season.
Hmm.
And I hope that we don't lose anyone. We hope that you would be here or be there after Christmas when the new year comes around.
Hmm.
So we want to see you well. We don't want you to get sick, because when you get sick, it gives us more work. We have a lot of work already. So we don't mind helping you to overcome your condition once you're willing to do what it takes, but try and be safe and be careful and
Hmm.
be moderate with what you do. So we close this is the week. We close on Friday, and we will not be opening until the 9th of next month, which is a pretty long 3-week period, I think. So we'll leave a number for persons to call us just in case, but we're hoping that persons would consider just being moderate and being careful with whatever they do. So, Dr. Richard, if you have any passing words, any
Yeah.
final words?
Thank you for the invite into your home, and thank you for the time. Um, Yeah, I second those words. Just be temperate and be moderate in what you're doing. Keep your head on. I mean, enjoy the time with the family and so forth. That's important. Spend time and be prayerful over things that you do, and just remember that your health is most important, and everybody around you that you're spending the time with would like to see you next year again.
Oh, yes, I was going to say that in a minute. We want to see you next year, and we want to know that you're well. And
Yeah,
if there's anything that happens that we can help you with, then we will be here to assist in any way possible. Once you're willing to do your part, we will do our part, and the body will do its part.
that's right.
So, on behalf of our clinic, the Health and Wellness Center, Dr. Richard and myself and family, we want to thank you for being a part of our success stories,
Hmm.
and we were happy to know that we were able to help most of you. We couldn't help all of you because not everyone is willing to do what it takes, but we'll be here to try to make a difference in your life for the better.
Hmm.
So once again, thank you, Dr. Richard, for participating in our program.
Thank you for the invite.
Wish you all the best for the new year coming and the happy holidays,
Same to
and
you.
continue to work in helping people to overcome their diseases. That's
Right.
why we're here.
That's right.
So until we see each other again, until we speak with you again,
Hmm.
good evening, good night, happy holidays, God bless you, and so long.
So long. Okay.
Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden. Looking for a